Welcome back to the Reading Den. I'm your host, your assistant principal, and your very best friend, Mr. Walters. On today's episode, we're going to learn about National Hispanic Heritage Month, which is celebrated every year from September 15th to October 15th. This is a time to honor the histories, cultures, and contributions of people whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. The word Hispanic means people who share a connection to the Spanish language and heritage from Spanish-speaking countries. Today, we're going to learn about Roberto Clemente. He's from Puerto Rico, an island in the Caribbean that's part of the United States, where Spanish is the main language. Roberto was a famous baseball player for the Pittsburgh Pirates and is also remembered for his kindness and efforts to help people in need. We'll be reading from this book, which you can find in our library, Nuestra, América, 30 Inspiring Latinas and Latinos Who Have Shaped the United States by Sabrina, Vourvoulias, and Gloria, Félix. Let's read. Roberto Clemente was the first Latino superstar of Major League Baseball. He racked up lots of firsts in his 18 Major League seasons. First Latino starting player to help win a World Series in 1960, first Latino to receive a National League Most Valuable Player award in 1966, and first Latino to receive a World Series MVP award in 1971. Born in Carolina, Puerto Rico, he was the youngest of 7 children. His father was a foreman at a sugarcane plantation, and his mother was a laundress who did additional odd jobs at the plantation. Roberto loved baseball and often went to watch games where many Negro players and later Major League players went to play winter ball. When he was 14, Roberto joined a softball team. I loved the game so much, he wrote in a journal, that even though our playing field was muddy and we had many trees on it, I used to play many hours every day. By 18, Roberto was playing with the Cangrejeros de Santurce, the Santurce Crabbers, of the Puerto Rican Baseball League. He caught the eye of a scout for the Brooklyn Dodgers, but wasn't signed until 1953. He was looking forward to playing in New York, where he knew many Puerto Ricans lived. But the Dodgers instead sent him to play for their farm team in Montreal, and in the November 1954 draft, the Pittsburgh Pirates, with the worst record in the majors during the past season, signed him. Roberto would play his whole career in the majors with the Pirates. In 1960, his batting average, .312, and 94 RBIs led the Pirates to the World Series. Over the next 7 years, he won 4 National League batting titles and an MVP award, and he began what would end up being 12 consecutive Gold Glove Award seasons. In 1971, Roberto led the Pirates back to the World Series and was named the MVP of the series. The year after that, he reached his 3,000th career hit. Throughout his career, he stood up for himself and other Latino players who were routinely accused of being lazy and faking injuries. He also worked to get Latino players the recognition he felt they deserved but weren't getting. Roberto made a point to return to Puerto Rico to hold baseball clinics and to play for and then manage Puerto Rican League teams during the winter season. He was there when he heard about the massive earthquake that devastated Managua, Nicaragua's capital city, on December 23, 1972. He raised money and purchased food and medicine to fly into Nicaragua in humanitarian relief. On New Year's Eve, he was on a cargo plane full of supplies headed for Nicaragua when it crashed off the Puerto Rican coast. Everyone on board died. The Baseball Hall of Fame waived its usual 5-year waiting period and inducted Roberto after he died. Beloved as much for his humanitarian efforts as for his baseball skills, Roberto is an enduring source of pride for Puerto Ricans everywhere. If you'd like to learn more about Roberto Clemente, check out this book in our library. Call Me Roberto. Roberto Clemente Goes to Bat for Latinos. by Nathalie Alonso and Rudy Gutierrez. In this book, you'll follow Roberto's life from his childhood in Puerto Rico, hitting tin cans with tree branch bats, to his rise as a Major League Baseball superstar. This book shows how he worked hard, stayed proud of who he was, and wanted everyone to call him by his real name, Roberto. I hope you learned something new during National Hispanic Heritage Month. You might watch my video about Puerto Rico or check out the many books in our library that celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month. Thanks for joining me today. I've been your host, your assistant principal, and your very best friend, Mr. Walters, and I'll see you next time on The Reading Den.
Welcome to the Big League Quiz. I'm Reagan. Today we're celebrating National Hispanic Heritage Month. What's your name? My name's Blake. And do you know baseball? Well, there's been about 110 games so far in the season. I've watched about 100 of them. Wow, what's your name?
Gavin.
Welcome to the show. Do you like baseball?
I play on a baseball team. I have a ton of baseball cards, and I'm going to a Mariners game next week.
Let's get started. I'll give you a clue, and then you'll name the famous Hispanic player.
Which Cuban-American slugger, famous as one of the Bash Brothers with Mark McGwire, was the first MLB player to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases in the same season?
Jose Canseco.
That is correct.
Can you name this Dominican-American player nicknamed A-Rod, who was a 14-time All-Star and became one of the most famous New York Yankees of his time?
Alex Rodriguez.
That is correct.
Can you name this Puerto Rican Hall of Famer who spent his whole career with the Seattle Mariners and has the Designated Hitter Award named after him?
Ken Griffey Jr.?
I'm so sorry. It's Edgar Martinez. Can you name this Dominican slugger known as Big Papi, who helped the Red Sox win 3 World Series titles?
David Ortiz.
I knew it. That's correct. Wow, you got one question correct. And you got 2.
Do I get a prize? Yeah, do we get a prize?
You get to go back to class. That's it for today's Big League Quiz. See you next time.